today. Anytime the head is hit, they usually call it. And she gets her really hard there. Any contact above the shoulders.
Angel Reese hit Caitlin Clark right on the head and ended up getting benched for it. To be honest, this situation isn't as glamorous or joyful for Clark as it might seem. The physical demands and the pressure of expectations, both on and off the court, have been tough. Adding to that, the stress from social media and various conspiracies has made things even harder. Clark talked about how challenging it all has been.
Younger than that at times, and I'm trying to navigate moving to a new city by myself. I'm trying to navigate, playing in a new league on top of everything else that has come with it. And
in the midst of all the chaos, Caitlin Clark is trying to stay calm. It's definitely not easy or delightful. The world keeps pulling her into the whirlwind. Over just a few years in the spotlight, Clark's story has evolved from a fun narrative about a record-breaking college basketball scorer who brought new attention to women's basketball, to discussions about race, sexuality, fame, money, and opportunity. Then, it shifted back to concerns about her turnover numbers early in her first WNBA season. Clark highlighted the importance of focusing on mental health and emphasized that seeking help is crucial. "I can achieve everything in my life," she said. "I'm not afraid to ask for help and to tell people, today is just not my day, and that's okay. Not every day has to be perfect."
I think it's something that a lot of people in our country struggle with, especially young individuals. And, I think the biggest thing is don't be afraid to ask for help.
The concern isn't just about Clark herself. Tennis star Serena Williams recently praised Caitlin Clark for handling early success well despite social media negativity. Speaking to the New York Post at the Tribeca Festival about her docuseries In the Arena, Serena was asked about Caitlin. Serena responded, "I just love that she tries to stay grounded." She mentioned that Caitlin avoids looking at her social media. Sharing some advice with Caitlin, Serena said,
"If people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, basically, and hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing."
Relating to Clark's tough early career days, Serena Williams shared her own experiences with similar negativity as a young tennis star. "I was bullied," Serena said. "Things I went through would get people canceled now." Earlier this year, Serena expressed interest in owning a WNBA team while talking to CNN. "I would definitely be super interested with the right market," she reiterated. "We just need the right catalyst and people. And I think that's happening over the past 2 years. Women's sports are finally having their moment." Big stars like Serena recognize Caitlin Clark's unprecedented rise to fame. She's one of the most popular athletes on the planet, and she hasn't even played her first WNBA game. In her first 14 games, Clark is on track to win Rookie of the Year, averaging 15.6 points on 36.7% shooting, 32.2% from three, 4.9 rebounds, and 6 assists. However, she's also facing intense physicality and committing a league-high 5.5 turnovers per game. Amid all the attention, fans are concerned about her mental health and well-being. Being famous has its perks, but at just 22 years old, there's worry about whether Clark can handle the long-term pressure. In ESPN's Full Court Press series, Clark admitted she sometimes wishes she were normal, because all the attention and press can be draining. "There are days when you don't want to talk to everyone," Clark said, "but someone comes up to you, and this is their 10-second interaction with you, so you better smile and be kind. But sometimes, you just want to be normal." Despite the pressure, Caitlin Clark seems to be handling it well so far. But with her fame expected to rise, fans are concerned about her mental health. Life as a celebrity has its downsides, but the pros often make it worth it. At 22, Clark's exciting journey in the world of basketball and celebrity continues. The latest chapter took place on Sunday in front of a sold-out crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. There, she faced Angel Reese, a Chicago Sky rookie familiar with high-profile showdowns against Clark. They had a heated battle in the 2023 NCAA National Championship game, where Reese's LSU Tigers defeated Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes, famously mocking Clark's "you can't see me" hand motion. Clark and Iowa got their revenge when they knocked out Reese and LSU in this year's Elite Eight in April. Attendance and merchandise sales spiked, and everyone assumed the latest Clark-Reese game would set viewership records. "I think it's the emotion and passion we play with," Clark said. "That's something that wasn't always appreciated about women's sports. And it should be. It makes it fun. We're competitors. And that's how the game should be. It's going to get feisty and physical, but both teams are just trying to win." In their second professional meeting, the Fever earned a 91-83 win, with Clark delivering her best all-around performance of her 15-game career. She scored 23 points on 11 shots, adding 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 blocked shots. In a dramatic turn, Reese hit Clark across the head, sending her to the floor as she attempted to block Clark's layup in the third quarter, earning Reese a flagrant foul. Clark's reaction was unexpectedly composed. "What's going through my mind is, I need to make these 2 free throws," she said. "That's all I'm thinking about."
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
The trolls are acting without class and are trending on Twitter after LSU star Angel Reese taunted Caitlin Clark with John Cena's "You can't see me" gesture after their win. Not just fans, but also sports commentator Keith Olbermann criticized Reese with a harsh tweet, calling her an I-word and warning her about the backlash that comes with messing with a new star who attracts thousands of new fans to basketball. It all began with these 2 basketball players, Reese from LSU and Clark from Iowa, becoming household names for sports fans with their record-breaking performances in the March Madness tournament. The NCAA's most valuable players seemed to have a tense relationship, with Reese alleging that Clark had disrespected several of her friends and teammates throughout the tournament. Here's a breakdown of the 2 stars and their rivalry. Reese and Clark faced off in the championship game, where Reese's LSU Tigers ultimately triumphed with a 102-85 win. In the game's final moments, viewers saw Reese respond to Clark's taunts, which drew significant online criticism. Reese mimicked Cena's "You can't see me" gesture and pointed to her ring finger, signaling their championship victory, all while staring Clark down. During their post-game press conferences, both players addressed the situation. Clark, displaying her sportsmanship, responded to questions about Reese's taunts by saying, "Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line, shake hands, and express gratitude that my team was in that position." She emphasized the importance of holding one's head high and being proud of their achievements. This is how a star beloved by fans reacts. On the other hand, Angel Reese had a different take. In her post-game interview, Reese acknowledged Clark as a hell of a player, but noted that Clark had disrespected her teammate Alexis Morris during the title game. Reese made it clear that she doesn't take disrespect lightly. Since their post-game interviews, both Reese and Clark have addressed the discussions surrounding their taunts. Speaking with ESPN, Clark defended Reese, saying, "I don't think Angel should be criticized at all. No matter which way it goes, she should never be criticized for what she did." Clark further demonstrated her class, stating, "I think everybody knew there was going to be a little trash talk throughout the entire tournament. It's not just me and Angel." Despite her tearful post-game interview, Clark spoke to ESPN, acknowledging that the LSU Tigers rightfully earned their NCAA championship over her team. "LSU deserved it. They played so well, and like I said, I'm a big fan of hers," Clark said of Reese. Clark's behavior off the court is truly exemplary. She always takes the time to appreciate other players, even though she rarely gets the same recognition in return. ESPN reported that Dr. Jill Biden was thinking about inviting both teams from the title game to the White House. This would be the first time the runner-ups were included in the celebratory visit. "So, I know we'll have the champions come to the White House. We always do," Jill said, according to CNN. "We hope LSU will come, but I'm going to tell Joe I think Iowa should come too because they played such a good game." Reese shared the link to ESPN's story and added a joke with 3 laughing emojis, saying, "Can you see the jealousy and the hate?"
Really need to recognize what's going on, the success of the league, and when it comes to Caitlin Clark, they need to quit being quote-unquote petty and hating on Caitlyn. And they just can't do it. Angel Reese just can't do it.
The First Lady eventually decided against inviting both teams, but the damage had already been done, according to Reese and the LSU Tigers. Stuff like that bothers me because, at the end of the day, you're a woman and you're supposed to be standing behind us, Reese said on the I Am Athlete podcast. It's hard to see things like that and not comment back on it. Reese continued, "I'm not going to lie to you. I don't accept the apology. You can't take back certain things you say. You felt like they should have come because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spotlight. We'll go to the Obamas. I'm going to see Michelle. I'm going to see Barack." Reese's comments sparked reactions from Caitlyn's fans, who roasted Reese as a result. After the Chicago Sky beat the New York Liberty 90-81 on Thursday night, Reese, a former LSU star, appeared to take a dig at Caitlin Clark in a now-deleted tweet. Reese has been crucial to the Chicago Sky's success, contributing an impressive 35 points in 2 of the first 3 victories of the season. Following their latest win, Reese tweeted, "And that's on getting a win in a packed area, not just because of one player on our charter flight," which many speculated was aimed at Clark, the standout rookie for the Fever. Clark's transition to the professional level has undeniably contributed to the growth of the WNBA, bringing in charter flights for the league. Several basketball fans did not take kindly to Reese's comment. One fan mocked her college GPA, saying, "That 1.8 GPA showing LOL," while another said, "Angel should be thankful to Caitlin Clark because she's the main reason behind the great attention the WNBA's getting right now. She should be more grateful." Others looked forward to June 1st when Reese would face Clark's team, with one fan asking, "Why is she so obsessed with Clark? I haven't seen Clark bring up Reese once." Other fans labeled many women players as haters of Clark, noting, "It's truly amazing how much these women hate Clark, LOL." Reese's profile rose because of the rivalry. Otherwise, she might have been just another WNBA player. One fan even challenged the vague meaning of her tweet, saying, "What did she say? I read the tweet 10 times and still can't understand what she's trying to say." Despite the intense competition and scrutiny surrounding their games, Reese has tried to show some respect for Clark. In April's highly anticipated LSU-Iowa March Madness matchup, Reese clarified that there was no animosity between her and Clark. After LSU's loss to Iowa in the Elite Eight, the 2 players shared a hug in the handshake line, with Reese whispering encouraging words to Clark. Reese revealed that Clark told her to continue being a great player, and Reese reciprocated by encouraging Clark to keep elevating the game and win it. This moment highlighted the respect and admiration they have for each other as athletes, despite their fierce competition on the court. Both players have admitted that their rivalry isn't personal. Reese explained that outside the game, they can be friendly and supportive of each other. She acknowledged that people often misinterpret their competitive nature as hatred, but in reality, they respect each other and understand the nature of the game. However, recent events paint a different picture. Reese recorded an impressive stat line with 17 points and 20 rebounds in 36 minutes before fouling out with under 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. On the other hand, Clark delivered a stellar performance, finishing with 41 points, including 9 three-pointers, 12 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block, leading Iowa to the Final Four.
It is still a team game, and but I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills.
LeBron James has chosen to focus on the positive impact Caitlin Clark is having on the WNBA in her rookie season, despite the early struggles and criticism faced by players like Angel Reese. James praised Clark for boosting interest and viewership in women's basketball, highlighting her significant contributions to the sport's growth. "The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport is that more people want to watch, more people want to tune in. Don't get it twisted. Caitlin Clark is the reason a lot of great things are going to happen for the WNBA.
And here is the women's basketball world choosing to reject the attention that is finally coming their way by rejecting Caitlin Clark.
The WNBA has really missed out by passing on Caitlin Clark. She's not just any rookie, she's the most exciting thing to happen to the WNBA, NCAA, and women's basketball in general. But here's an intriguing twist. She got left out of the Team USA women's basketball roster. Talk about a major surprise for 2024.
Look, let's be honest, most people didn't even know they had women's basketball in the Summer Olympics. Now you have a chance to do this, and you don't take it, so here.
In basketball, having top-notch skills and fierce competitiveness can overshadow even the biggest teams worldwide, and Caitlin Clark embodies all of that. So, what could be behind Team USA's decision not to include the Indiana Star rookie? First, let's take a look at Clark's performance in her rookie year with the WNBA. Despite the Indiana Fever's 3-for-29 season, Clark shined individually, averaging 16.8 points, 6.3 assists, and 5.3 rebounds. Her performance and impact are unprecedented for a rookie in the WNBA. So why isn't she on the Team USA roster? Experience can't be the excuse, considering the USA national basketball team's history of selecting rookies. Since women's basketball was added to the Olympics in 1976, at least 2 players under 25 have been included in every Olympic roster. The youngest ever to play for the USA women's team was Nancy Lieberman at 18 in 1976. In the Tokyo Games, the youngest were Asia Wilson and Nafisa Collier, both 24. Additionally, there's a precedent for including the top WNBA draft pick in Olympic years, such as Diana Taurasi in 2004, Candace Parker in 2008, and Breanna Stewart in 2016. The U.S. team didn't include Ndamukadi Agwumaike in the lineup back in 2012, even though she was with Los Angeles and now Seattle. Now, Caitlin Clark finds herself in a similar situation. During her time at Iowa, Clark became the Division I career scoring leader for both men and women, finishing with 3,951 points. She also reached the national championship game in both her junior and senior years.
Look, let's be honest, most people didn't even know they had women's basketball in the Summer Olympics. Now you have a chance to do this, and you don't take it, so here.
However, selecting Clark would have meant more than just highlighting her story. It would have introduced Olympic viewers and readers, many of whom aren't avid sports fans or haven't seen a women's Olympic basketball game, to the entire U.S. team. If you hadn't seen Breanna Stewart in her previous Olympic appearances, you would have tuned in this summer because of Clark's star power. The same goes for Brittany Griner. If she's healthy, she won't be there, and thus, many fans won't follow, as they usually don't. Imagine the global interest Clark could have generated, with reporters and fans from around the world watching her make stunning plays and signing autographs. Little girls in Europe and Africa might have been just as captivated as those in the USA. It all comes down to USA Basketball, whose mission is to promote, grow, and elevate the game at all levels. Missing out on representing your country in the Olympics is undoubtedly disheartening, and Caitlin Clark likely felt that way when she learned she hadn't made the 12-player roster for the Paris Games. On Sunday, Caitlin Clark and Fever coach Christy Sides addressed the news for the first time since it was announced that the top overall pick didn't make Team USA's final roster for the 2024 Olympics in Paris next month. Clark maintained her usual calm demeanor when reacting to the news, but Sides revealed her star's immediate response. Clark got the call while on the bus and texted Sides to share the news. Sides tried to keep her spirits up, and Clark's reaction was, "Hey coach, they woke a monster," which Sides found impressive. Clark noted that the team's mix of talent and experience, none of the players being younger than 26, was a key factor in her not making the roster. Despite this, Clark expressed enthusiasm for the players who did make the team. She said, "I'm excited for the girls on the team. I know it's the most competitive team in the world, and it could have gone either way, with me being on the team or not. I'll be rooting for them to win gold. Watching the Olympics has always been a dream for me, and this just adds motivation. Hopefully, in 4 years, I can be there. Clark was invited to the most recent training camp in April, which would have been her first chance to work with the senior national team, but she couldn't attend due to the Final Four. Nonetheless, she gave herself a strong chance with a standout rookie season. However, she has faced challenges with the physicality of the game and leads the league in turnovers, averaging 5.6 per game. These issues, along with the talent and experience of the players ahead of her, seem to be the reasons she didn't make the final roster. According to Christine Brennan of USA Today, Team USA veterans were concerned about how Clark's large fan base might react if she were chosen, but received limited playing time. Clark didn't go into details about the decision, but mentioned that USA Basketball called her to deliver the news before it was publicly leaked on social media. On the bright side, Clark will finally get a break when the WNBA takes a pause for the Olympics. She's been playing almost non-stop since her senior season at Iowa started in October. Once the Fever finish their pre-Olympic schedule on July 17th, they won't play again until August 16th. I'm really looking forward to a break, Clark said. I've loved every second of competing, but it will be great to rest, get healthy, and take a bit of time away from basketball. It'll be nice to find some peace and quiet for myself. There's a slight chance Clark could still join the team as an injury replacement. Notably, Chelsea Gray, who was selected, hasn't played in 8 months due to a foot injury, and it's unclear when she'll return. As one of the top playmakers, Clark could be next in line if Gray isn't back in time. However, Clark is focusing on the Fever and their effort to climb out of the 11th seed. If USA Basketball needs something, I have a good relationship with them. But the 12 players they've selected are really great, Clark said. I think they're in good hands. Cheryl Reeve is a great coach, and the selection committee did a really good job. Some media personalities suggest that not making Team USA could turn out to be a blessing in disguise for Clark. Jamel Hill, formerly of ESPN, suggested that not competing for the gold medal might actually be beneficial for Clark. In just a few weeks, Clark transitioned from college basketball to becoming a professional and dealing with a demanding schedule. A multi-week break could be just what she needs, Hill mentioned in an X post. Clark had almost no offseason. Her college career ended on April 7th after a long 6-month season, and just a week later, she was the first overall pick in the WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. She started practicing almost immediately, with the Fever's preseason beginning 11 days before the WNBA season kicked off on May 14th. The WNBA season will take a nearly month-long break for the Olympics, with the Fever off from July 18th to August 15th. This will be the longest gap between games for Clark since before her final season at Iowa started.